So I think among all of you, Madam Ada would be knowing more of e-courts because she has worked in the CBC project. So you'll be getting a lot of questions. So anyone can tell me what idea you have about e-courts project? E-courts. I can see few faces which knows the answer but is not daring to answer. Some of you are blank. E-courts. Yes, ma'am. You are in translation. Something related to e-courts. I know someone will surely answer. Yes, Madam Subba. Translation. E-courts yaad hai na? Excuse me, sir. Can I introduce yourself? I think I don't know.
My name is Benoy. Currently working as an LTA in Judicial.
When did you get recruited? When did you get recruited?
7 months.
7 months. I haven't seen you before. I was in Baila. I was there in Baila. For your post. I was there. 7 months.
No, but I attended the training.
Wait. Mr. Man, I need to know from you. What is the e-courts project? You can sit down, please.
Sir, I don't have that much of idea, but
Yeah, you can, but make the
it's a digitization.
What is the difference between digitization and digitalization? To computer man.
Digitization means totally digitized, which is paperless. So
Yes.
true. And digitization is a process.
Difference in digitization means just converting the analog information. Now, what is analog information? Anyone from science? Yes, yes.
Analog means, sir,
Yes, sit down, please. Otherwise, you'll be standing over there.
so the information which is available in physical form.
Absolutely, in very layman terms, he spoke correct. Anything that is in the physical form, which is converted into digital, is called digitization. Now, there is another word, digitalization. We often, miss when we use these two words. Digitalization is the broader process of using digital technology. So, e-courts project is digitalization, but within it we have digitization also. Okay? If digitalization is the genus, then digitization is the species. Okay? एउटा broad animal को एउटा genus भन्नु त group reptiles. Reptiles में के साँप आउँछ, lizards आउँछ. So digitization are those lizards and those snakes, and reptiles are digitalization. It's a broader process. What my point? So we need to know this basic difference between digitization and digitalization. Now, how many of you have been to courts before? You were employed in the high courts. Have you ever had an occasion to go to courts? Or have seen courts in your place for some other reason, whatever it could be? No. The executive magistrate courts like STM, district magistrate. Our local people go a lot to DMs and STM. I think you have been. And catching courts.
Hello, sir. Yes, sir, I've gone to the STM office.
Even STM have courts, okay? They are executive magistrates. They decide certain matters. So, एक time when I joined service in 2012, we still had typewriters in our court, okay? And then the older lot staffs were still comfortable with typewriters. So, computers, very recently we have had lots of computers in the high court and district court. But if you see, even a few years back, we still were using typewriters. Okay. And then the first step that we have to take, not only with staff, even with judicial officers, even with judges, Still till today in the country, it is very difficult to move the older generation judges from their old method of dictating and using typewriter to computers. We have had one training when I was first sent for computer training as a judicial officer. We had one very senior judicial officer from Bihar. Okay, the training were all India basis, and he was nominated to be a master trainer. So he had come for the training, and the laptop which was given to him about a year ago was still in sealed pack. Since everyone was instructed to come with laptops, and so he had come with laptop. I would not blame him also. In the coming future, we ourselves may not be able to use certain technologies which, if we are not in tune with it. If you see the very young children of today, the toys which they use, we will not be able to even see it, how to use it. I'll give you one example. I had given one small camera to a child. Okay, it was a keychain type camera, and the whole time what I and someone else was doing was we were looking through the camera hole of that small camera, but its function was different, which we did not know. But the child was not exposed to that technology before. There was a small paper in there, a very thin, you couldn't even see it properly. The child just pulled out the paper and projected that those images in the wall. His actual purpose was that which we didn't know, but the child never exposed to that technology would know that the purpose of that small camera is actually a projector. Okay, so how did the child get exposed? Probably child saw something in the YouTube, etc. Now children are very fond of looking into YouTubes and all. They no longer watch cartoons. They do watch, but they shift very soon to the other forms of videos which are there in the YouTube. So technology is as such. One fine day we are going to be definitely outdated when it comes to technology, right? So the man who bought the laptop in a sealed pack, even after a year of being delivered to him, is not to be blamed. He could not keep up with the pace. But we must try. Today we have laptop. If you see social media of today and social media of next 10 years, there's going to be a very drastic change. Okay, so things are changing. So anyone, all of you are new lots. Now our very purpose of recruitment when we are in the registry was to see that the very young generations with good knowledge and skills come to the registry. Okay, now because the older lot now will not be able to keep up pace with the technology, and we cannot blame them also. They are fit at their place. Now it's for the younger generations to take now, use computers. I have seen in the registry people asking for computers because someone else has it, not because they want to use it, right? Someone else got a new computer, I also need a new computer. So I used to get several requisitions from various staffs for computers. But when it comes to real using, they are not using it. It has become some kind of a trend also in office that if you don't have a computer in front of you, you may be considered as an employee who doesn't work or who doesn't know much. So probably, some kind of unseen stigma is also there in the office from the older generation that if computer is not in the table, then you will be seen as someone outdated. Some ask for that reason, some genuinely ask for the work, right? So computers have become a part of our life, and it's going to be forever in times to come. The account sections uses software. For them, computer is indispensable. For many other sections like ADA, like translation also, and all of you actually, to be frank, need computers. So from where we are getting these computers? It's very costly, okay? One computer in tender is costing around, for us, 55,000, minimum desktop, okay, of a standard configuration. And if you go higher than that, this laptop is 75,000. Still, it is not a top class configuration laptop. But in the offices, somewhat, i5 generation and even i3 is going to work if you are purely going to use Word, etc. and for printing other things. Now, if you have noticed, there is a lack of printers in the High Court. Everyone is requesting printer, but we are unable to keep it because once we bring the printer, it's very difficult to move from that, still the paper system to paperless. So on the eCoach project, printers are not being provided. That's why we had dearth of printers in the High Court. Though we purchased from the High Court fund because some sections essentially needed it. To be frank, even the courts which have advanced to a lot extent in paperless system are still using papers. Okay. So printers are though indispensable, but the idea is to one fine day not have any papers in the offices or codes. Maybe we'll achieve that late, very late I would say, especially in our Sikkim. But it is going to come one fine day. We had e-office software previously. There was a lot of resistance from the sections by using e-office, to use e-office software. All file management online, right? For the e-committee, e-coach project ma pani hamro aako cha euta e-office bhanne software, which is a very huge software, and it's you need to be trained quite a lot on that to know it. Slowly it's being started from computer section when I was there, and our plan was to move it to other sections slowly. Everything in computer, nothing on paper. So that aim is there, but I tell you there's a very big resistance from the employees who can't use it, right? We have procured digital signatures for all. Have you all got digital signatures? You have not got digital signatures? Sir, you can check it. What was your name?
So my name is Vijay.
Vijay, we have procured digital signatures for all the employees from, I think, HA and above. You kindly check it, why it's still not distributed, okay? You ask Mr. Tenjin. So we have even procured digital signatures for all these stuffs, so that you can sign it digitally, okay? Now, why these employees are against e-file system? Can anyone tell me? But all of us at some point of time, we won't be able to manage the workload or things. The category badmas category employee, okay? I've given sufficient hint. Why they do not want to use e-software for file management? Can anyone tell? You can give a guess also. It's not something very good which the idea behind their not using is not good. I've given hint also. Yes sir, computer sir, I expect a lot of answer from you. Sorry, I'm not mentioning your name because you know.
The thing is, there are lots of technical knowledge. I mean, about technical knowledge चाहिँ हुनु पर्यो भने त्यो चलाउनको लागि चाहिँ यो अफिस चाहिँ.
I know, see, that is true. Zero technical knowledge, we cannot use that staff for using e-office. But all of them do have some kind of basic knowledge after being exposed to computers. Let's assume they have that technical knowledge, but still would resist it. One of the reasons is, I'll give you one example. Have you seen the biometric attendance in High Court? Have you seen? It's there. Has anyone seen where it is? Come on, yeah. No one has seen? There is biometric attendance. If they have removed it now, I don't know, it was there. People stopped using it. What could be the reason? It's so accurate. You cannot lie at what time you arrived. Same thing with the e-office software. It will have all the digital footprints. The moment you touch it, what you have done in that system is there. Now, as you see, High Court often pulls employees for committing mistakes very heavily, right? Once it is in the computers, you can make no excuse of what you have done or what you have not done. This is one of the major reasons why it's difficult to push these softwares in the employees. They don't want to get caught. Okay, so how to avoid this? How to manage this system to bring in the employees also to the e-system? The first and foremost thing that needs to be done is we need to deal employees differently. If we have made a mistake, of course major mistakes may not be condoned, but simple mistakes can always be condoned, so that you are attracted to that computer system instead of abhorring it. So everything needs to change. Not only just bringing in the computers will not bring a change in the administrative system. What needs to be is the total administrative system. The approach needs to change, so that people are comfortable even committing mistakes. If people are not comfortable committing mistakes, they will stop working because they don't want to mistake. Same with me also. Okay, so It applies to me. Whatever I am saying, it applies to me also. So first and foremost is we need to have a system where committing mistake is not a crime. Then, if the same person commits the same mistake again and again, then obviously something is wrong. We need to pull that person out. But first, this environment needs to change, and then only the computers will fit in, right? Now, biometric. What's the problem with biometric? No one wants to put that thumb impression there. What's the problem? The very idea is I'll get caught. People imagine so much of getting caught. In Nepali we say, banko bagle bhanda manko bagle nai khन्छ भन्छ. But as I said, the administrative system also must be quite open, liberal, and someone accepting mistakes. Otherwise, it's difficult to implement e system in the. If you see private companies, the working environment is quite open. There are hierarchies, but in the working environment, egos are much less there. Of course, personal egos are everywhere, even in the private sector. And High Court is a big institution with so many employees. There's bound to be some kind of personal differences there. But apart from that, if we take the system and the environment as it meant to be, then things are going to go. Now, people don't want to put biometric because it has the exact timing, right? And they think if I miss out on one day, I'm going to be pulled up heavily. As I said, it could be you could be pulled up heavily for coming 10 minutes late in a particular day. It depends on the administrative system that is running there. But my view is it should not be like that. Now, if someone is consistently half an hour late, the biometric system, what it does is, I'll get the entire data in a press of a button, that what is your average attendance. If you are regularly late, if you are regularly absent, then obviously those biometrics are made to analyze the attendance system, not just for attendance system. The office needs to know which employees are regularly coming late, which employees come in time, should be rewarded, in my view, right? So these electronic systems will always give you the accurate results. And if we don't improve that environment, one fine day you all are going to be like the present generation, which we have not bothered about technology and all. So we need to accept this technology, and make mistakes. You learn from them, right? Of course, account section would have very less choice to make mistake. 1 0 gone, the entire history is gone, and you could be pulled up heavily for that. Depends on sections also, which sections you are learning. Every section have their some kind of weaknesses. Just like translation, if they write something wrong, and the translations are being uploaded even in the Supreme Court websites, and some people who knows Lepcha, Bhutia, Nepali, Subba very well would read it and find your translations absurd, they'll obviously pull you up. So online system brings about transparency. It brings about accountability. Now, how much we are going to take that, it depends on that. And mind you, life is going to be very stressful when computers come. As I said, you are 10 minutes late, you are whole day fearing that the next day you will be pulled up, right? That makes you stressful. With that comes stress management and so many things on and on. The modern times are of that nature. We need to adapt to it. We have no choice. We are being paid for doing work, right? So whatever environment system comes, we need to be there with it. So e-courts ma chai euta project थियो है. Actually, court त बहुत ढिलो आयो technology. Government departments were already you can have your tea, okay? Check खाँदा हुन्छ. अफिसहरुमा पहिल्यै आउँदै थियो. कोर्टले सोचे अब हामी त छोडिने रहेछ भनेर. Actually, e-courts project is a central government project, only funded by central government. State government can also fund, options दिएको छ, but state government they hardly put money in computers, okay? For the financial year 2024-25, we obtained 50 lakh from state, though we had asked for 1.5 crore, but they gave 50 lakh. Better late than never, something is there, so it will be increased every year. So e-courts project ma state ko chai northeastern states ko लागि chai 90:10 funding much, right? If we are taking central government project, अहिलेको 5-year plan started from 2023 and it's 7,000 crores को budget को. Sikkim as अहिले सम्ममा we have spent about 12 crores we have asked for more, I think 10 or 12 crores for the next financial year. And it includes Judicial Academy, it includes jail, it includes district court, it includes high court. It does not include legal services authority in this project as of now. So it's an all India project. Every high court ले implement गर्छ computerization processes भन्छ कोर्टमा समन्सहरुको जुन चाहिँ प्रोसेस जान्छ नाउ इट्स अल डन इलेक्ट्रोनिकली पहिला मान्छे गएर म्यानुअली गर्नु पर्थ्यो अहिले मान्छे त जान्छ बट द पर्सन गोज विथ द मोबाइल जब कोर्टले समन काट्छ then it should reach a particular person, right? So the process server takes the mobile phone and everything is done electronically, including clicking a photograph. And the moment it is delivered or not delivered to the person, the information reaches back the court. Otherwise, पहिला एक हप्ता लाग्थ्यो मानिनुहोस् नाम्चीको सामानको इन्फर्मेसन ग्याङ्टकमा आइपुग्नु it would take about a week. त्यसको स्टेटस चाहिँ के छ भने now it can be done easily. So what it does is it improves efficiency and speed. As you all know, court backlog of cases are in crores, right? The all India. Sikkim, I think dependency is about 1,000 cases of total entire state cover, which is much less. And justice delivery system here is much faster as compared to any of the state in the country because we have very low pendency. Enhanced access to justice. Just now, I call a petition पनि online file गर्नु सक्छ, which means enhanced access to justice. मानिस सिलगढीबाट गान्तोकमा आइरहनु परेन सिलगढीबाट हाल्नु सक्यो when the date is listed you can come there. So you know the access to justice has also improved. You just need to create a password and login ID and then you are into the legal system. Cost effectiveness, you know, traveling cost बाँच्यो, paper xerox को cost बाँच्यो, just mobile मा software मा application मा भइहाल्छ. Transparency, we all know. Transparency actually means public should know what's happening within this system. Transparency meaning चाहिँ त्यही, you know, because people can't access. If you see some of the, I do not know, हाम्रो office मा त मैले देखेको छुइनँ, some access some places no entry without permission. That is denial of access to the offices. What happens is, of course, some sections are need to do that. You can't have every people enter your room, right? So that makes the system opaque. Now, when it's online, we get to know what's going on there, right? We are putting up data, everything, uploading. RTI Act very much purpose 2005 was for the purpose of transparency. This I need not tell you. One of the purpose of e-courts project was the software court connect गर्नु. Now, म अहिले वेबसाइटमा गयो भने I can access any court in the country. Information, right? Is the busiest district. It still writes east, west, north, south because in the court establishment, it's still the same. You know, it has not changed. त्यो पाक्यङहरु पनि हालेको छ भित्र सब क्याटेगोरी गरेर. Now this is the website of district court. Has anyone visited this? No need if not required, but out of curiosity, yes, निर्देशकले तपाईले के कारणले के inspection? Oh, I had heard. मैले सुनेको थिएँ. But I heard the negative side also. But people say, people keep on saying we can release it from the other ear, but the district court can talk. Let's say the cause list. Cause list means who knows? What is a cause list? I could not the cause list from there. Yes, ma'am, cause list means you would be knowing. You yourself came with sometimes to me when I was in charge register with cause list. What is cause list?
The cases that were above.
Okay, what you can say is the cases that are being listed before the court for today, tomorrow, or so let's check if it is there. Court complex, district and sessions court complex one, so court number. I'm clicking criminal because there are more criminal cases than civil in our state. This is very problematic for me. This small h, 6 here, caps U, E, Q. Yes, 6 U, E, Q. Still something is wrong. Q, 5, J, 5, B. Oh, and a call list is there. I'm written. The criminal case is still vigilance. So if you see, I get all the details. What is the case listed for today? It is final argument. First hearing date was 23 January 2024. Status case ko pending hai cha. Sakeko chaina bhaneko. Okay, CNR number is a unique number of the case. You know, where if you know this number, if you type in this number, wherever the software or the web-based applications provide it, you can get the details of that case. Okay. Now it shows respondent and advocate. Navin Lami Chhane is the respondent and advocate is named Gita Vista. State of Sikkim is always represented by the state. This W. Tamang means William Tamang and K.C. Tamang. They are the state lawyers. Okay. Now I can see the further details of this case. Section K ma case hunda section 409, 468, 471 of IPC and 131C, 132 of Prevention of Corruption Act. Police station vigilance. Now these are all the red orders which I can see. Okay. Now let's see 512. I think this is adjourned probably because order is already there. Let's see. Order. So this was the order dated 20 November. London Special PP Vigilance, William Tamang and so present for state. The date is fixed for final arguments. London Council for both the parties have requested for time considered, put up on 3/12/2025 for final arguments. So now this is my accessibility that E-Courts has given. I can sit at home, if it's my case or if it's someone else's cases, if they can give me even either FIR number, case number, CNR number, or even the party name, accused name correctly, I can get this data at my home. So this has been the accessibility, transparency. You know, now the court cannot say, edit it in the file and say, change the orders. Very possibility if you are not online. Once you put it online, it cannot be changed. If you change it, you are caught, right? So this is what the digitalization process has brought to the court, which was once a very opaque. Court भित्र के हुँदैछ याद हुन्थेन. अहिले CCTV पनि छ courtroom. If you are not aware of it, each courtroom in the district court has a CCTV right here behind the judge. It's not to catch anything, it's just to maintain something, to see that if any untoward incident occurs, you can catch the people. Okay. And if you see, the district courts are not like high courts. The judge and lawyer is face to face there, and sometimes the situations are very heated there, because it's trial court, the base court, where all basic things are settled. Lawyers argue very much as if they are about to fight, but they would be having tea outside the court premises. Okay. So the even the Supreme Court has called the courtrooms, trial courtrooms are charged courtrooms, charged by a courtroom, where sometimes things fly off very heavily. So that's the reason why CCTVs are there even inside the courtrooms. Very soon, I think the High Court will also be starting live streaming, right? I think they have installed all the necessary equipments. ई सेवा केन्द्र चाहिँ के हो त? यो पनि एउटा बेसिकै हो. यो सबै जानिराख्नु अनि निर्देशनमा यु भिजिटेड वेयर डिस्ट्रिक्ट कोर्ट गान्तोक फर व्हाट वाज द पर्पज के इन्सपेक्ट ई सेवा केन्द्र देख्नु हो नो यु कान्ट से दैट also sir can you know ई सेवा केन्द्र ती बाहिरपट्टि नै छ त कोर्टकै बाहिर anyone can tell what is ई सेवा केन्द्र why you all are so dumb and so thirsty really
Sir, I think E-Seva Kendra is for those people who want to know whatever cases are there. So it's like a help desk.
yes very good I think ma'am has recently cleared Viva so maybe she has prepared I'm just telling on the other side okay yes very good ma'am E-Seva Kendra is actually developed as only providing online assistance जस्तै अहिले हाम्रो भिडियो कन्फरेन्सिङबाट पनि सपोज यु नीड टु अपियर एट अ गेजिङ कोर्ट एज अ विटनेस ओके तपाईँ कुनै कारणवश कुनै केसमा विटनेस भयो त तपाईलाई गेजिङ कोर्ट जानु चाहिँ अफिसमा काम पनि छ यु क्यानट गो नाउ राइट सो यु क्यान अपियर थ्रु भिडियो कन्फरेन्सिङ दिस ई सेवा केन्द्रस वर एक्चुअली मेन्ट टु assist the person to appear from there in video conference. That is one aspect. There are a lot others also. But it began as assisting in technological assistance to the people coming there. But now E-Seva Kendra has become like a help desk. It does everything, almost everything. अर्को हाम्रोमा हुन्छ तल जुडिशियल सर्भिस सेन्टर भन्ने पनि हुन्छ जहाँ चाहिँ फाइलिङहरु हुन्छ केसहरु विच इज देयर इन दी हाई कोर्ट अल्सो ओके दैट हाई कोर्टको त्यो बाहिरपट्टि ई-सेवा केन्द्रको फन्डबाटै बनाएको वेयर दिस people sit with the computer people outside the entrance gate. So that is actually an E-Seva Kendra only. There, any public having some connection with cases can come and inquire about anything. So we have replaced may I help you desk with E-Seva Kendras. त्यहाँनिर तपाईको सबै इक्विपमेन्ट छ भिसीमा अर्को कोर्टमा अपियर हुनु पर्यो भने त्यहाँबाट अब गान्तोकको तपाईलाई बोलाएको छ मैले एक्जाम्पल दिएँ Again, High Court bada district court ma gare ya High Court ke E-Seva Kendra bada pani you can appear to the other court. Let's say engaging and give you evidence. But if you are some kind of material witness, some formal witness ko say it's okay doing through VC. But if some witnesses are very material who needs to be heard in the courtroom itself, they need to come to the court ordinarily. In exceptional cases, they also can be exempted and be called through VC. Let's say some differently abled person who cannot move at all. Even though a material witness, the court can still say, okay, you can come through this. Okay, there are certain rules of law which you need not know. Just know that E-Seva Kendra, the name itself is sufficient to describe its purpose, right? E-Seva Kendra, electronic Seva Kendra. These capacity building initiatives, तपाईहरुको ट्रेनिङ जुनमा हुँदैछ, जुन पैसामा हुँदैछ, यो ई कमिटीले दिएको पैसा हुन्छ. Okay, so त्यसको अन्डरमा अहिले तपाईहरुको ब्याच हो this training keeps on happening here for judges also, for lawyers also, for staff, for police, for advocates. Now this time we thought that this batch of people have not been ever given this information on this topic, so we called you on. Scanning and digitization, as he mentioned earlier, हाम्रोमा डिजिटाइजेसन पनि चल्दैछ जुन जति पनि पुरानो केस रेकर्डहरु थियो सबै यसलाई कन्भर्ट गर्दैछ स्क्यान गरेर डिजिटाइजेसन and it's an ongoing process. Case is like an open tap, the water keeps on coming there, it never finishes, right? It keeps on coming, the case gets disposed, so it will forever be an ongoing process, scanning and digitization, and therefore we have digitized lakhs of records in the High Court and District Court. The aim is to one fine day हाम्रो रुलले चाहिँ के भन्छ भन्दाखेरि 30 वर्ष भन्दा पुरानो रेकर्ड चाहिँ we can destroy it भन्छ. So first step is digitizing it and then identifying which are more than 30 years old record, so that there's no point of digitizing if we are still keeping the files in the cupboards. We need to get rid of them, right? The only problem that comes is we must be 100% sure that the digitization that has taken place has completely captured the physical file. Manual मान्छेले गरेको काम त हो अब यसलाई वेट गर्ने फिजिकल फाइललाई त्यसलाई कम्पेयर गर्ने पनि ठुलो निकै म्यान पावर चाहिन्छ because you cannot miss even one page, right? So we are still not sure about whether the digitization has completely captured the physical files. That's why the High Court still even the District Court still maintains the physical file even though it's more than 30 years old. Okay. One fine day, that process is going to take place, and we will be getting rid of all the physical files. Once we get rid of physical files, we don't need big cupboards in the rooms, right? That's the target. Now, you all are using internet. How many of you don't use internet in the High Court? Even not for official purposes. The High Court ko Wi-Fi you are used. From where we are getting that? Okay, Madam Sarkar ki. From where we are getting the internet? And who pays for it? And you'll be shocked to know the cost. So use it justiciably. Come around this internet. These are basics actually. Except you do, please don't tell. Give a case. It can't be these young people. You can't be such dumb and not speak at all. It looks like some boring classroom. Have you done what's your rank? No, rank. I'll stop calling you. You are here? Senior. I'll stop calling you senior accountant if you will not answer this. From where we are getting our internet connectivity? High Court now? No, not that. Let's not go up to that. I don't think that's any satellite link in the present internet which we are having. Who is the service provider? I'm asking that. No, sir. I don't know why you are absolutely confused in this question. Yes, sir. Who is the service provider of our internet? No, Mr. Navid.
Sir, BSNL is one of the service providers.
This is BSNL, sir. Why are you so confused in that question? TP-Link is a device. That too, TP-Link, I think it's a brand name. The device name is something, router or something. It's the BSNL which is providing. Okay, the source is BSNL. The lines are also through NIC. Now we have P2P means, point to point. Point to point nets are those where there is no break in the between. There are no other connections in between. It starts from the source, it ends in the destination. These were the initial networks which we employed in the courts, actually for uploading the court data to the National Judicial Data Grid. I'll show you what is National Judicial Data Grid also. All our court informations, especially of cases, are every day going to the National Repository, which is, I think its server is somewhere in New Delhi. So for this we need continuous internet connectivity. पहिला 4:30 मा मात्रै त्यो there used to be a gap of about 1 hour, 2 hours when the data would be sent. But now the data is being sent continuously. I forgot that computer word. Can you tell, sir? When the data is in our local server, a replication. It's called replication. Okay. Previously replication say defined time ma huन्थ्यो, अहिले continuously replication हुन्छ. मैले अहिले हाले भने 1 minute or 1.5 minutes, the data gets replicates and goes to the server in the central repository. So for that we need very good internet connectivity. The problem is there still in the districts like Gezing and Mangan especially, where the internet line, once it gets disconnected, it stops working. So BSNL is the source, provider is the NIC. Okay. Paperless codes, let's not go into this. E-filing, from anywhere you can e-file cases. This is the e-filing services, where this is the e-filing and e-payment. You can see e-filing and e-payment. Right? Take me to e-filing 3.0. These are all links. Okay. Now I cannot sign in here because I do not have my login for this. Okay. I'll still show you. As an advocate also you can have your account, as a litigant also, as a government pleader means advocate, clerk. Everyone can open their account and get inside this e-filing. Even as a common person, as a litigant, you will do it. Obviously there are cases and there is no need to open an account here, right? Now e-payment is also there. Our e-payment is through SBI Collect. Now we are not educational institution, we are not religious entities, we are not charities, we are not this one, we are not hospital, government, PSU, courts. High court and subordinate courts. Payment category, that let's go. High Court of Sikkim. Court fee, let's say. There are various types of fees that court collects: fine, penalty, judicial deposit. Judicial deposit is not, need not be there also. There is no such thing as judicial deposit. Fine, penalty, court fee. Usually court fee use हुन्छ पुरा. Court मा civil case हाल्दाखेरि including writ petitions and all, a person must pay certain fees which is very less. Okay. So this you can make e-payment through here. Now let's see the National Judicial Data Grid. Has anyone ever seen have gone to the website of National Judicial Data Grid? Anyone? Yes, you? Okay, sir, tell us something about NJDC. Wow, you are in account section, no?
No, libraries.
Oh yes, library. Tell us something about NJDC.
So actually, it's a repository, one-point search point. It's a single point search system where all the courts across the country, especially the high courts, contains their data, cases pending and judgment orders.
Yes, it's the data of the entire country. See, this is NJDG, National Judicial Data Grid. National is self-explanatory, judicial self-explanatory, data as a self-explanatory, grid also. Okay? It's the culminating point of everything. We can go state-wise also, any state you want, Sikkim for data. This comes very handy even, especially with those who are working in confidential section, if anyone is here. But still, the people have not given up that habit of looking the manual files. All the data are there. Sometimes even I am even surprised why even Supreme Court is asking these data when it's already there. That mentality of asking someone through paper is still not gone, even at that level. We regularly we usually get questions that ask us data which is already there in the NJDC. पर्पज चाहिँ त्यसकै लागि बनायो भने किन मागेन? सिक्किममा चाहिँ करप्सनको केस कतिवटा पेन्डिङ छ भनेर किन सोध्नु पर्यो? No, it's already out here. They can take it from the data. If they don't believe their own data, that's none of our problem, right? At times we have even replied saying it's available there, instead of giving the information. This is the data of Sikkim Gangtok Court. Age-wise pending cases ko pani data cha. This is particularly helpful to the researchers. They need not go to each court to get the data. They can sit at home and get this data. I won't vouch for its 100% accuracy, but 98% yes, because after all humans have entered this data. Yetro huge level ma, euta court le euta data wrong hale bhane there is going to be at least some 1,000 data that are going to be wrong. Okay, but that's everywhere in every online system that is there. So this is National Judicial Data Grid. Okay. एउटा भर्चुअल कोर्ट भन्ने कन्सेप्ट पनि छ. भर्चुअल कोर्ट भनेको चाहिँ कस्तो हो भने कम्प्युटर हुन्छ, जज हुन्छ एकजना. नो वान एल्स इन द कोर्ट रुम. ओके, एक्सेप्ट इफ सम पिपल आर रिक्वायर्ड. जस्तै सानो सानो केसेसमा ट्राफिक चालान केसेस हाम्रोमा छैन. इफ यु सी न्यू दिल्ली अल ट्राफिक चालान केसेस आर डन थ्रु भर्चुअल कोर्ट्स. यु विल गेट एन एसएमएस. तपाईले के अपराध गरे एसएमएसमै आउँछ. गिल्टी प्लिड गरेर फाइन. युजुअली पिपल प्लिड गिल्टी फर ट्राफिक भायोलेसन बिकज दे हेभ एक्चुअली भायोलेटेड इट. ओके, इट्स अ भेरी पेटी अफेन्स, माइनर अफेन्स हो. एसएमएसमै आउँछ दिस इज द अफेन्स This is the penalty if you plead guilty. So you will be pleading guilty of violating, let's say, red light and pay the fine. Job done, you need not go to court. Right? We have not done that in Sikkim because the initial view was that we have very less challan cases in Sikkim. But actually later on I find out if you have that system, the challan cases will increase. If police find it ease just to challan you and say go to virtual court, then they'll obviously be doing that. But now they have to argue, the other person will argue back. No one wants to do that except in certain circumstances. But if the traffic policemen get some kind of system where they can just challan you and say, sorry sir, you go to court, then you have no option left. So I believe, if we start this system, the traffic cases will increase because police will be doing that job because that makes their job easy. Right? Earlier the people, even if they are wrong, they are arguing, that. But things are going to change very soon in Sikkim also. Have you ever come across some live proceedings of courtrooms in your reels, whether in Facebook or Instagram?
Yes.
Yes? It tells something. What you have seen?
Sir, in the reels I've seen one IS officers
Being scolded.
Yes.
This is one person. अरू यति हो एउटा? अनि तपाईले कसले के डिफरेन्स देखेको छ? Never.
So I've seen some where cases are going, and I'm not sure if it is related to
I
so
didn't
virtual
get
courts. So I'm not sure if it's related, but I've seen reels where a lot of some advocates, I don't know if it's arguing with
judge. Oh, that was one viral reel. After that, the post of courtrooms have decreased quite a lot. Anyone else? I've seen. Yes, sir? I've seen. Actually, we call this snippets. These are so small versions. That's not the entire live streaming of the courtroom. Okay? Under the rules, this is not permissible. It's an offense actually. But as you know, this is our country, very great country. People can do anything out here, right? And then someone has taken it out, and they are putting only those parts of the streaming which suits their content. Now even the courts have become content. Now courts would not step back and stop live proceeding just because these things are made, because that's their problem. And if you are aggrieved, it's very difficult to catch a person who is committing offense online. Okay, it's very difficult. Even if you catch him or her, it's very difficult to prove in the court, because there are so many layers of electronic transfers that takes place. So rules does not permit this. Rules permit giving these clippings only for educational purposes. Just when I was CPC, I received a letter from one of the private institution which asked us the permission to take our live streaming. Though we were not live streaming, but they were asking permission if they can have our live streaming for educational purposes. I cross-checked the background of that institution. It was an educational institution imparting, tuitions, let's say, coaching classes. But I found that, their intent in asking that was, they would obviously say, now the law is such a kind, I'll tell you, law is just the better you can bend it, the more master you are of it. Okay? Law like can't loophole. If some very intelligent lawyer or very intelligent judge would know where the weaknesses of the law lie. Okay? So what these people will do is they will take it on that educational ground and they will be showing this everywhere. And they will say it's for educational purpose. Now social media, I am not bound to see social media. I may not be in that account of this. My wish, my will, my consent. So if I put some content of court, and if some people would learn from there, that's educational purpose. त्यसमा अब अरूले हेरेर त्यसलाई बिगार्छ अर्को नेगेटिभ लिन्छ भने त द्याट इज द्याट पिपल्स फल्ट but this is really a problem, you know. The government is unable to control this. How to control it? You saw what happened in Nepal, right? So controlling mechanisms of this online, especially the social media, is very difficult. Each and every individual holds it, and the most data consumed is by the social media, the internet data. So there's business involved of lot of big businessmen, right? And then the world is going to be blind if you stop this. You are, me to a certain extent. I don't use it that extensively except when I have free time. But we are going to be blind, aren't we? We will be blind the very next time if the social medias are stopped. Blind in mind, blind in everything. That's our favorite time pass out here, except I don't. Yes, sir, yours? You use social media? Aruna's brother. Because you look very silent, that's why I'm asking. Probably he's not affected by it than the rest of you are. So yes, you know, we'll become blind to that. So courtroom proceedings, from the judges, they have that apprehensions. People will misuse it, but there is a Supreme Court direction on that. We have to go live streaming. It has to be gone. Screenshot and videography from the external device cannot be stopped. How will you stop it? And someone posting it, what can we do? And people are posting those contents which excites people's mind, either hatred against the judge or against the lawyer or against the police. I think he was very happy when police was scolded. Why? People were very happy just scolding police. That's one sentiment, you know. Usually people are hated, police are hated by people because they have the power, they have the authority to, stop you, they have the authority to call you to the police station. They have every authority. If you refuse it, that is also an offense. So, people usually don't like anyone who wears uniform, to be frank, except doctors. Doctors also people hate because, they say that they don't come to duty and all this thing. So these contents are targeting specific people, and these contents are being made to earn money, right? Monetization and all. So it's either targeting judge, police or lawyer. Whatever you like, you'll be getting that content. That means you may have seen a lot of other clippings where police were being scolded. Actually, some things being said are wrong also in the courtroom. Aap kaise DM bane? Who made you DM? And more than that, if you see the comments, those are more dangerous, the comment portion. And my God, you learn so many things from the comments. People's brain works so much there. Comment. And to certain extent, those views are correct. Right, so comment section is very interesting. You learn a lot of idea from there, what to say. And we as judges, we cannot do that because, we have to rest. Sometimes there's a huge lot of temptation to say someone which you know, but we cannot do it. Except some, so if you see my account, I think it has 55, someone, all known people. Not even a single one is unknown there. So there's no problem, right? Some have, 35,000 followers, 40,000 followers, and you know how many likes they get? 13 or 14. Right? And in my 55, I get at least 12. You see the percentage. So I'm happy with that. Don't tell to people who have such lot of accounts. I once tried to tell, the person got furious. So I talked about National Judicial Data Grid. So this is the basic thing, okay? I did not tell you more. The computerization is the entire central project as of now. But one fine day, central is going to stop their funding and the state will have to take over. In fact, all recurring expenses, okay. Now I'll make someone speak. Yes, sir. You tell me what is recurring expenses. Let's tell the room what is recurring expenses. Sir, I don't know yet, Mr. Chetri. Yes, yes. Actually, he's not sleeping, but he looks like he's sleeping. Recurring expenses, you supply account लिएर जाँदा छ अदर्स विकमा बसेर भन्दा पनि हुन्छ सर
सर रिकरिङ सर जुन चाहिँ कन्टिन्यू भएको छ
भेरी गुड सो यो मैले आज कम्प्युटर किने हैन बिग्रिन्छ नि यसको लाइफ स्प्यान कति हो अफिसियली 5 इयर्स हो 5 इयर्स पनि त्यति राम्रो थाम्दैन इफ इट्स कन्टिन्युअसली युज सो All those changes that has to be replaced continuously is to be borne by the state. So let's take for example, we have spent about 12 crores by Sikkim High Court as of now. So 12 crore the सीधे recurring expense I will, if our whole thing gets damaged at a time, let's say due to some natural calamity, then whole thing is to be replaced by state, the cost is coming to 12 crores. Every year at an average also, if I say 10 computers may be replaced per side, 10 into let's say 55 desktop. So those are the recurring expenses. Salaries of contractual employees are recurring expenses till such date when the contract is not terminated. So these are all to be borne by the state government. Project ma they give one-time fund to establish the continuity limits state ko in finances regarding equals project. So anything else which we can discuss? Yes ma'am, translation ko bhannuhoस् न तपाईहरु, let the others know each other section. I want ma'am तपाईले lepcha ki बुझ्छ section lepcha, so दय भन्दिनुस् translation को सबैले. That is also e-system. We are translating using a software called Subhas, given by Supreme Court. Nepali चाहिँ अरूहरु चाहिँ उहाँहरुले manually नै translate गर्नुहुन्छ. So कतिवटा भयो, what is them, how many judgments have been uploaded? lepchaमा upload भयो? Okay, tell your experience in translating judgment. You may have never thought in your life or in a dream also it will be one day translating judgments. So what are your thoughts? How did you find this work? If it's boring, tell it's boring, okay? There's no problem. You still have opportunity to go somewhere else.
Sir, it's very challenging for me because the legal words I'm coming through are like.
So accused like के भन्छ?
खमु काटो हो, खमु सक्थो हो.
Okay, we don't have lepcha bhutia translator. Yes ma'am, accused like के भन्छ सुब्बामा?
Sir, Abdikpa.
So see, they are all translations. Uta Nepali, she is from Nepal. So how many judgments you have translated, Subba? Subba language?
Sir, 10.
10? High Court judgment or Supreme Court?
Sir, 9 Supreme Court and 1 judgment of High Court.
It's uploaded also?
Yes, sir.
So give someone to read, whoever knows. You can tell them it's uploaded there. I know. Because we don't know that language, right? What's uploaded there, we don't understand at all. So are you confident of that, you are uploading the judgment, are you confident that your translations are up to the mark? Are you confident?
Yes, sir.
She is quite confident. That's why you were selected, you know that. Yes, dear?
Sir, I've tried my best. I've given my best, sir.
Nepali, how many got you have?
Sir, almost 25.
25. And 2 new translators, what you want to do? Understand? हजुर? भएको छैन किन? कम्प्युटर भएको छैन?
उसको त्यो सुभाषको त्यो यो भएकै छैन कि अन्त
के भएको छैन?
सो त्यो सुभाषको अकाउन्ट हाल्नुपर्छ अरे उसकोमा त्यो मिलेकै छैन भनिरहेको छ माथि.
ए बनाउँदैछ? So at present what you are doing? Paper book?
Yes sir.
Okay. If you get stuck to paper book, you will forever get stuck there. Like we had Sam, no? He was stuck to paper book. And okay, Navid has come to. He have replaced Pranay.
Yes, sir.
Pranay has left.
So he is not left, but I think he's doing.
He's not coming.
Yes, sir. Doing the documentation. He's going to the offices.
And I heard Ahmad also came.
Yes, sir. He came briefly, sir.
He is again back.
Yes, sir. So I'm again back. I was there in establishment for some time.
Then who is okay? You are again back to Karma, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yes, sir. Tell us something about your work. Yeah.
So my job is quite simple.
Yes, sir.
So I only have to do notice, judgment, sometimes post lists.
You are from since July. How do you, on earth I didn't see you ever? Right? And yes, sir, librarian, sir. His was destiny, you know, someone else left and he joined High Court. So you're liking the place?
Yes, sir. Because people are very kind and the workplace is which teaches me a lot. apart from my academic background.
Okay, that can be seen on your face only, We're not upset. Whatever it is. Yes, our manager man, assistant manager of Citizen Cooperative, Chiringadal.
Yes.
Your impression is pretty good in the High Court that you are working well in your profession. So next, ma'am, just wait. I don't remember. Yeah?
From the museum, High Court Museum.
Oh yes. So sorry. Shreya Pradhan. Yes. Yes, ma'am. You are new. In which section?
And management.
Oh, okay. So what was the protocol on management recently you did?
I've gone out for a tour with a few guests, and in the management section, I've just joined, so a little bit more to learn from my seniors.
Okay, not little bit, lot to learn.
Yes.
Yes, Eda Khan, your new section.
Yes, sir.
Which section you are posted in?
So in general section.
Okay, you've got a very good section. Where all the officers are good in that section, All happy-go-lucky types are there in general section. Yes, Nirdesa ma'am, your recent experience. Inspection to one, how was your experience? District Court Gangtok, what you were to expect? The infrastructure? Then? Or the washrooms?
Yes, sir.
How was it? Because there's a lot of complaint about washroom at Gangtok. Obviously because it has the most footfalls in the entire, compared to all the other courts in the state. And all kinds of people come to Gangtok Court. You'll find cough syrup bottles, everything you find. Marijuana, everything. Can't stop. Did you visit where the accused persons are kept pending trial? They would even use slangs in that.
Yes, sir.
They used to use to us also. They didn't know we are judges. When they used to move for local adalat and all, they would be shouting there. Those people are to some extent mentally deranged because being in that confined area for so many months and years, you literally go mad. Okay, understandable. And they would be having their friends when they are brought to court. What they do? Their friends come from outside to supply them these things, cigarette, etc., tobacco. And any method you try, it doesn't work. There used to be a exhaust fan. They used to put from there. They closed that exhaust fan. Somehow they broke the window pane of the toilet. Obviously we need to have window there. So they try all methods to get that. And especially the accused persons in SADA cases do that. Courts are like that. In fact, it's much better. Have you ever been to Siliguri court? You just go and see that where these people are kept. You won't be able to stand there. It's so stinky. They have to pee inside there. And there are about 100 to 150 people clogged in there, waiting for their turn in the courtroom. So you had an occasion to visit a much better washroom than if it had been any other place outside. So, yes, Shweta, everyone needs to speak to me. Yes, Mr. Karki is there. Yes, tell me.
So my experience.
Supervisor, no?
Yes, sir.
What happened to that tiles? Is it done or that grass something?
Yes, sir, it's done.
Okay.
I think a month ago it was done, but it was not a exact grass which we were looking for actually.
Okay. Yeah, government somehow tried to.
Yeah, it's not that green, so actually. I think the tiles work is also done, and the pending work which is left in High Court is, I think, the phase 2 washrooms and all.
Which is that?
The main building, the Chief Honorable Judge's building,
Okay.
phase 2. So.
Okay, you see there, no? Even at some places it says differently about washroom, but I don't see it as a different. Somewhere I saw it said differently about in some court
Yeah,
only.
it's beside a library section, sir.
You have that handles, no?
Yes, sir.
I don't know which court, it could be Soren or somewhere, it said differently able, but it does not have anything inside to support differently able people.
In that building, sir, like most of the painting works needs to be done actually. the conference hall, the walls are all peeled off, the paint has been peeled off, the translation section also, it looks really like we have to.
Really, there is a dearth of space in High Court. Unless this new building comes up, it has almost become unmanageable to accommodate everything. Now I think so many new recruits are coming very soon. Some of them already came outside this. So I think you will have to bear that. Or there could be a new policy after the chief comes, God knows.
It might be, yes.
So let's see. We can only have our fingers crossed as of now. So anything else you want to ask on law or anything, if you have any question in mind regarding law, some of your relatives may be asking that you go to court, what is it, please tell. So if there's there you can ask, I can answer.
Shall I say?
Yes, sir.
So like, so the reel that went viral for regarding
Judges or any reel?
So regarding judges, in that case, like, so it's impacting the.
We even have one High Court reel viral. If you all have seen, don't say it, but I know it. This one related to High Court, one is viral. Reel, not about exam and all.
So in that case, so it's impacting the persona of the courts.
Yes, yes.
So does it like later on do the courts take some action?
Yes, yes.
Bring down the reel?
Very good question you asked. It is actually a very, now it's a democratic country, right? There is a law called Contempt of Court Act, which means if you, without any reasonable cause or a fair criticism, if you are not making a fair criticism against a court or a judge, it's a punishable offense. Okay? You can criticize courts, you can criticize judgments, but it should be fair and based on what is actually, let's say a judgment is there. I may not like the judgment, but I must have basis and real legal knowledge to criticize it. We can do that. But there is also still thin line. Who decides what is a fair criticism or not is still controversial, okay? Now the very reason why courts are protected by this law is if people start, people talk anything about politicians. You don't feel bad about it also, because now we have accepted politicians are meant to be cursed that way. Even we curse it that way when things does not go right for us. The moment it's going right for us, we would like it. So the court, if it wants in those reels, it can punish the person for contempt. But how many people will punish? In today's modern era, the law has become outdated. In fact, Supreme Court always said, accept the criticisms, accept what people are saying. If you are not that, right? But if we leave it absolute open also and remove this law, people will be saying everything to the court. That might lead to people losing faith in the justice system. Once faith is lost in the justice system, if no one accepts the judgment of the court, then there's going to be a chaos. Okay? There's going to be anarchy then. That's like what happened in Nepal. It was an absolute anarchy. I could go and kill you right now, I would not be answerable to law. That was the situation. People hailed the Genji's protest, but according to me, that was absolutely uncivilized thing to do. Whatever you have to change the government, why did you? Were those generations not the voters? They voted the people who were in the power. Democracy is of the majority, right? Can't change governments. That was anarchy. Believe me, more than the official figures with the sword of dead people are more than what they showed. Neighbors killed neighbors, neighbors raped neighbors, people killed children there. No one was accountable. Whom will you tell? The police station is itself not there. Where will you go and tell? One thing you can do is retaliate and kill the other person also. What seemed very nice to certain people was actually gloomy there. So in that context, democracy, the control mechanisms are of law, right? Now if people are saying to judges, to courts, how many people you will punish? Of course, if someone is repetitive, there is one person in Sikkim who usually accuses court, even judges directly, but no one has taken any action so far. They say he is mad. Okay, and appears to be mad also. But in certain cases, if you are a known figure, let's say a known politician says something which is against the court, and the court can always initiate contempt of court. Without being selective of people also, not being seen as you are being selective of punishing some and punishing someone. There was a day, Prashant Bhushan lawyer, he was punished. But he was so adamant, he said, punish me, so what, I am not going to pay the fine. In the end, the court had to tell him, at least pay ₹1. Ek rupaya ta tir deu na, izzat ta bachai deu, right? So court also doesn't want to get into this situation. What if you refuse? At the most, I can send you jail for 6 months or so. So those reels, if it is projected in a negative way, criticizing the court or the judges for without a fair criticism or without a reasonable cause, then it is definitely a punishable offense. More than that, the commenters are more punishable. Okay, so how many people you will pick from social media to punish? That's the real problem that is coming on in at the moment when its criticism of judiciary is evolving as such. People are still afraid to criticize judiciary. But what happens in Delhi happens very soon here nowadays. And there was a point of time when things that were occurring in New Delhi or some big metros would not reach this place even in a year. It was absolutely unaffected. But nowadays this part of the region, including Sikkim, Darjeeling district is not bothered because they have lived their own life so far. We have been living life on someone else's gratitude, right? So that changes is coming in our state also. So what happens in New Delhi as a political cause or whatever is cause, I believe it's reaching our state also too soon. The recent post, absolutely justified, it could be fair also when people talked about that examination. Everyone might have seen it, okay? Any sane person would have felt that. But it had never happened before. I had not seen the people commenting on something even on the administrative side of the court. So times are changing. We will be facing soon the criticism of judgments also. So we need to be ready for it. Law is there, contempt of courts, and there's civil contempt, criminal contempt. Okay, it caters to different types of remarks and matters that are concerned with, but there is a law which punishes such unreasonable comments.
Court manager too is here, sir.
Court manager also advertised?
Yes, sir.
Exam also done?
Sir, exam, so not yet.
When is the exam? No, that is not possible, I guess. How many applicants are there?
So total, sir, 24, sir, but I think it has, the list has not been prepared for rejected list.
Okay. No, something that needs to be completed by 13th. Who is there?
Joint registrar, so that too is there.
Oh, joint registrar, assistant registrar, AO. So account ma to more than required. What done the पहिला account ma दुईजना थियो when we came. Good. And Amit was also on probation, no? You know, Amit. He didn't come. He didn't leave.
His name is not on the list.
Okay. So how many of you are there in a concert? Let's see, right?
Sir, 11 including 2 office attendants, sir.
That's a quite huge for account section. Yeah, you are more than sufficient to do the entire work in one day. Okay, and good officers. Oh yes, I forgot to ask Shreya ma'am. Tell us something about museum. I could not notice you because you are not familiar face to me. How many people are coming? What was the visit this year?
They come from like outside the state.
So anything new being done there in the museum? You know, I was really looking for some books which talks about Sikkim's legal history. To give it to the resource persons, they give flower pot. I see flower pot being given as something pointless. Some people may not like flower, and a book has some value. So I couldn't find it. Can you find some book which has a legal history of Sikkim? The museum may be having, we can do something on that.
There's no such like particular books on legal
Political history books, lots of them are there, but legal history is not there. But some legal history material is there in the museum. You know, we can always compile that and give it to the people coming also. You know?
the magazine is there, the museum.
It talks about legal history. No, the total magazine on that.
Everything that's...
I know that when that was made, I was already understood.
everything that is like displayed in the museum, all the articles are in the magazine.
He said, we really do not have legal history of Sikkim. There must have been some legal history, right? High Court was there since 1950. In some books somewhere it's mentioned there, but we do not have detailed legal history of Sikkim at all.
Yes, sir.
How it worked, what were the cases and all.
We saw regarding the recruitment issue that went viral for High Court. So isn't it possible that we make this process online, sort of filling up of forms and all?
Yes, the software is already ready there. It needs to be taken forward. In my tenure, we have made software, but recruitment software, the thing is it has to be tested a lot. You can't have one fine day the software crashing down and your recruitment process of advertising, final filling of form has started. So when I was there, the process was to be tested. We needed at least 1,000 participants logging in at the same time. Because once you make online, everyone will apply from the MOOC and especially High Court where certificate of identification is not required, including academy also. So the entire country would be coming in there. So we were still not confident about the software developed in-house. Software is ready, the testing process needs to be taken forward. We need to do that actually. But as you know, sometimes the glitches create a lot of problem. If you have seen in CBSC, ICSC and all, during declaration of result, there's a huge lot of problem. Even with that problem will definitely come. The thing is, as I said, there should be an environment where you are not pulled up for genuine mistakes. Who takes that risk? Even I don't want to take that risk. So yes, but we have tried and we have made the software. The software is actually already ready. We need to test it before putting it in online.